So today class we will discuss about the one more process in the service now, which is a asset management. What is an asset? What are the different types of assets? Asset is nothing but which is a laptop. There are two types of assets. So asset is nothing but if you use the asset management, what are the company related all the assets will be stored in the this asset management. So there are two types of assets. First is the SAM. So software what is software asset management and remaining what is that meaning what you can say hardware asset management. So there are two types of assets, software asset management. Known as a ham. SAM ham. They can give as a SAM ham. So SAM and ham asset management. There are two types. First one is the software asset management. Second one is the hardware asset management. In the software asset management, what will come? What are the softwares they have purchased and what are the licenses it has. So it was added to the users. Those are all configurations will be added to the user here. Now hardware, for example, software asset the licenses. For example, if you take a .NET is a software, is a license. MS Office is a license, and even the ServiceNow is also a software. So they have the license, and so like Office 365 is a one. So like that, all the software licenses and all the information will be stored in the SAM management, which is a software asset management. Now hardware. What is the hardware? So what are the hardware assets we have? Like a company has a servers and company has the laptops, company has the desktops, monitors, keyboards, mouse, headphones, earphones, and other things like network cables or all the things. So those are all comes under the hardware asset management. So simple software asset management is nothing but what are the softwares they have the information, licenses, all the stuff they can manage here, and hardware what are the hardware information we have it like laptop servers, like all the things we can configure it from the same thing here. Now what we have to do it is, so let's see how the asset management is come. So if I go to the hardware, so this is the hardware assets. So here you can add the this already some predefined assets were there. If you want to, you can one or else you can create a one more class for it. Okay, so you this is the one. What is the model category? What is a model? AX server, and what is the model? AX server. So if you want, you can do it. But before that, what is the model and model category? So server, and if I open this one, model, right? Okay. See, this server and machine, these are all the one. Now I just want to configure a Linux server for this. So if I want to do, you can go to the CMDB model category list table, or else you can go to here. So so these are all one. And when we started the codes, there are two tables which we are configured, right? So that means there are two base tables in that one. The first base table was task table, which is a parent for the all the ITSM tables and other tables like incident, problem, change, request item, and catalog task, like all those tables. This is the parent for it. Now the thing was here, what we have to do it is, um, we can what we can say, there is a uh, problem is there. So there is a CMDB. So there is a assets all the one, the parent table was a CMDB underscore CI. These two are the base tables in the service now. Here we want to create a one thing. So for that we create a one CI class. If it is a CI class, if I open this one, I'm just creating a Linux server. So Linux server, and what is the UNSPC code we can give it, and what is the category, parent category. If you want to add in a child category, we can add it. Right now we are not adding anyone. And what is a CI class? So we can select the CI class. So this is the one. So asset class or the producer product model we can give it, and what is asset class? So I'm giving as a hardware asset. That's the one. And CA class. What is the CA class? We can give as a, for example, if I open this model category. Okay, this is another list. So this is the CA class. So what are the CA class? We want to add the same thing one. So if you want one, or else we can, if you want to, we can create a new CA class also. We can add it one. So for the new CA class, what we can add it is, so so for the CA class, simply we can extend it from the CA table. So you can go to the one, and I'm going to the tables. These are all the one. I'm just going to new date one. So here we can add it one CMDB. So I'm just making as a Linux server. So now what happened? I just created a Linux server at CMDB, and we can add the same thing here. I'm sorry guys, we are in a different scope. So always these are all in, we can create in a what you call custom scope, there's a global scope. So these are the one, so which was extended from here. And if I submit this one, it will create a new CA class for the same thing one. Now, if you are supposed to create a Linux server, so this is the one. If you create this one, cmdb underscore ca underscore Linux server. So this will be the created now. Sorry, I think we have already created Linux server and parent model class. So what is a model class we can create it? Since it is a server, right? We can make it as a what are the model class we can give it. We can add the same thing here. So I'm just making as a hardware model and what is a asset class. So whether should be a, what is the asset software or hardware one. So I'm just making as a hardware asset. So can force CA verification. That means the system doesn't create any asset if you have created a new CA. Pre-allocation, that means if you want to pre-allocate, we can do it. Allow in bundle if you want to make sure as a bundle, and allow in the bundle with the. So these are all not required. So if I save this one, now what happened? We just already categories already the Linux server. I'm just okay. So they're saying is already server was there. I'm just making this one now. So for this combination, they have already have a CA class. So now what I'm going to do is, see, this is the one we created, Linux server. So and when I try to save this, now it has created. Why? Because this is the CA class which you have created, and this is the hardware. Now, when you're creating a new asset, right now what we have created. So if you want to create a what you call a category, we need a CA class, we need a product model class, and asset class. So if you have created, and now we need to create one asset for it. If you click on this asset, okay. So now what we have to do it is go to the hardware assets, go to the hardware assets, and you can save this one. So from here, the model category is Linux, right? So Linux server OS. So and what was the model? So the product model we have not added. Okay, let me add one more product for this. So this is a not define any scripting, but only the issue was here. We need to understand the process here. So we will create one product model. So here, what was the product model we have created? Let me open this one. For example, Linux, right? Server OS hardware model. So I'm just adding this one. The manufacturer is I'm just making any one company. So timing I'm just making it SA and hard Linux server OS asset tracking, save it. Now we can create asset and model. The product model is not configured. So here we need to add a model category. So what is a model category here? For us it's a Linux, right? So we can add a model category here and we can lock it and try to save this one. Now we can create a one. Let me reload this form. Still this product model is not coming. Let me mm, hardware. So I'm adding to the hardware category and let's what it is showing. Okay, let me open this one. What are the configurations we have added? Hardware only we added. Yes, same thing we added. If I'm going to create a new one, hardware Linux OS and see why this is product is not showing. Okay, I can check this later. So in the meantime, we can use a Linux any other one. So Linux server and what we have to do it is we need to configure the product model. So okay, so here we can configure and what was the serial number we can add the same thing. And so now what happened? A asset is created. Whenever a asset is created by default, so the state there is a different state on order. So right now on order is nothing but whenever if you ordered a something that is in the on order. So that means you have ordered a on order. So there we can do it and here so we can give is a, what is the asset tag and reserved for managed by owned by reserved for is nothing but this asset is reserved for which user, managed by is nothing but who is managing it, owned by is nothing but who is the owner of the this one. So that is the one thing we can do it. And next one more thing here. Here so the parent, if any parent we can give it and class is asset and serial number substrate we can give later and what was the location and what was the department they are configuring, which company it was, and it is a primary secondary or tertiary, it was assigned when it was assigned to when and installed on when and comment. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this one. Now an asset is created. So asset is done. Now whatever we are doing here now the one, so next one is the here is the financial. Financial is nothing but what is the about the financial information about these are all will be configured here. So the request line so is the what is the request line, that means what this will be what is the record. We're gonna, this will be take care of the procurement time. And what was the invoice number, what was the cost of it, we can add it. What is the one, so we can give it. So if it is a dollar, so we can give what is the cost of 123, for example 303. And who is the vendor for this, so we can add a vendor. And these all those things. And next, when it was opened, and GL is nothing but general ledger account for this one. And what was the cost center, cost center is nothing but who is the will pay the amount for this, which department. And next one, acquisition medal, purchase, lease, rental, loan, whatever it may be, you can do it. Purchase is nothing but we have purchased it one. Lease is nothing but we have taken lease. Rental is nothing but we have taken a rental for it. And a loan is nothing but we have taken a loan for this. That means we for the purchasing we have taken loan, thus we can take it. And expenditure type, capex, opex, this should be the financial times. We don't need to worry about this. Next one, dispose proposal. This proposal is nothing but whenever we are doing the disposing this one, we can these are all the things. When you are doing the disposing, who is the beneficiary? So we can give the company name. And what is the real price? Real price is nothing but what is the resale price is nothing but what price we are purchasing. And scheduled retirement and retirement. So when we are going to scheduling retire this one, and when is the actual date? That's the thing. Next one, depreciation. What is the depreciation? So that means if I open this one, every product will be depreciated every year. So here the ODB, DDB 4 years, SLB 1 year, and SL 10 years, SL 3 years, SL 5 years, SL 7 years. Those are all will give the as a depreciation for the same thing here. So that we can configure here. And residual date, whatever we can do it. Right now what I'm going to do is depreciation is affecting from the date. And so this will have one. And next one, contracts, what was the lease contract, and what are, when the warranty is expired. And for this contract, what is the which group will support, and supported by which group. So these two can do it. And entitlements is nothing but, right, yesterday we had discussion. So the license about the ServiceNow is a product. So in that product we have ITSM, what you call the CSM, and a GRC, and the IT1. These are all the entitlements for it. Those are all we can configure the same thing here. Now the thing was what we are supposed to do it is, so what are the activities? Here the activity is nothing but whatever happened here, it will be created on. So this is the hardware. So from here, if you want to create an asset, we can create a one more asset here. So I'm creating a hardware asset, Linux server, iris one. In general, see, for this one it will as add a child assets. So like that, we can add about whenever if we create asset, automatically the expense line will be created. So the expense line is nothing but so it will be the like invoice. It will create it like this one. So but it's not a exact one. So we can do it. So this is the basic thing. And once it is ordered, it will go to the in stock. In stock is nothing but it will go to the stock. And what was the stock room for it, and where it was given, it will give you the same thing. So I am giving personal stock room here, and when I trying to save this one. So this is the stock room, and once you have stock room, so what happened? We going to in transit. In transit is nothing but, for example, if you are moving the asset from one place to another place, we can move is the transit one. So that is a transit, we can do it. Next one, in use is nothing but it was already assigned to someone. That means if it's already assigned to someone, so we don't have any issues for the same here. So you can give assigned and managed one. And next one, in maintenance is nothing but, so whenever if you are going to a server, we can make it as a maintenance. So that means sometimes we will perform a monthly activities. Those are all things we can configure one. And the next one is retired. So retired is nothing but, when it is retired is nothing but the asset we are not using the asset, we can under something about the retired, the substrate, disposed, solid, donated, vendor credit, and pending disposal. So whatever it may be the reason, we can add the same thing. Disposed is nothing but we are not allowed no longer to use it. Solid is nothing but we can give the new one, we can use it. Donate is nothing but we are given this to the new any orphanage home or some charity home, something like. And vendor credit is nothing but we can give the vendor credit, so we can give as a vendor to use the same thing for the credit. And pending disposal, this proposal is nothing but we need to disposal waiting for the pending. So what are the reason we can select the same thing, I'm just making as a disproposed and saving this one. This is the major life cycle of the vendor. And once it is done, missing is nothing but sometimes what happens, some assets will be the missing, so it will not be there. So you can here there is a lost and stolen. Lost is nothing but it is not showing something, we are missing somebody one. Stolen is nothing but somebody has stolen this one, that is the one. So it will be the same here. Now the next step here is what we have to do it is. So now the next step is here what we have to do it is. So what is the one we can do it, and what is the one else you can go to the build. Build is nothing but we are going to build the same thing one. So we can give the stock room whatever it may be, and we are saying this one. Basically the messy, whenever given the this stock room, this automatically this location was filling. So for example, if I give as a, it is giving as a empty, since for this stock room there is no location. And if I give any other one, see this is San Francisco. Or if I open this one, this also the location, whatever it may be, the San Francisco will be there. So basically, the life cycle of the hardware asset is first it is the in order, after that in transit to the sorry in order on order in on after that in stock, and go to the in transit, in use, maintenance, retired, missing, and build. These are the main states will be the any asset if we created. So I hope we clear till now what you discussed or any confusion. So this is the little bit tricky part. The CMD, these are all comes under the CMD implementation, all this one. So this will be some tricky part. So whenever if you have practiced multiple times, so that you can easily understand the same thing here. So this is the basic thing. I hope we clear or any confusion. Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, very good. So now this is the basic of hardware assets. So like that we can create a multiple assets and we can create it. Next, if you go to that one, software assets. So for the software assets, we can configure a software models. These are all the software models. If I open this one, who is a manufacturer and what is the model category is right? So for this one also earlier we created a model category, right? If you want to, we can create a model categories for the software also. Let me open this one. Okay, model category, right? If I give the software model, I'm just working as a, so I'm just making a software now. I'm just making as application software and product model is so application model, or what is this model? I'm just making a service model, and asset is a software license. So I'm going to submit this. Now what we have to do it is, so we have to do it is the same thing. Now the model category is there. Now the next step is we can create a software model, and if I open this one, so by default it will come like this one. The manufacturer is we can give it one Acer. So we can add a short description here. So leave to category. So I'm just going to save this one. Now we have created a one software model for this. Now and here we can write a what was the version, how many measurement build, software category and multiple units and maximum socket count and license type. If I go to the license type, commercial or what is the one, right now we have only one commercial license. We can add it. And activation stated activate or not, ISO ID, these are all one. And what was the application model? So we can give it right now. We don't have, we can create one model here. So manufacture ISO. So we can give it one. And how many rights? What is the minimum users we have to use? What are the maximum users we have to use it? And the suit components, what is the infrared percentage, nothing but how much the percentage. So we use the system. And next one, suit parents, if any parents we can do it. And upgrade, so whenever if you're agreeing the upgrade instance we can show the same thing. And next one, downgrade, so whenever you downgrade, but in the service now we don't have option to downgrade the instance, so we don't need to worry. And licenses, what are the licenses we have assigned one. And product catalog, that's a different story we have. This is the one. So now this is how we can create a software model for the same thing here. Now now the next step, what we are supposed to do it is, so how we can calculate this one. So if I go to the license, right, if I use this software, so these are the contracts which are associated with any software one. So we can create it. Right now we are not giving anyone. So assets, I'm just going to get one software as well. If I open all assets, so whenever if you are creating a new asset, if I open, it will ask this one. So I'm just creating one licensing asset, software license, and what was the model. So the service now is the one. And what was the rights, how many rights we have, 100 licenses we have for example. And 190, what is the license key we can give it, so something like this is a license key. And asset tag, what is the asset tag we can give it. And serial number, what we can give it. And you'll see in order in stock, these are all the same states. And these are all the same steps. Now what is the financial, now who is a vendor for this, so for this license, who is a vendor will take the responsibility for the same thing here. So we can take anyone. I'm just making as Acer is a vendor. Okay, so what is the invoice number we can give it, refine line, and when is the purchased, and when we have opened GA account and the cost center. These are the basic, we already know this one. And contracts, if you have any contracts, we can, what is the lease contract we can add, we can configure this one. And we can, if any assets cover, we can cover this one. So supported group, that means who will support this one and who has to support by this group. So these two we can configure this one. Next one is the device entitlements. Device entitlements is nothing but, so we can asset is, so what are the entitlements we have configured, we can fetch those information or something like here. Now what we are supposed to do it is uh, the thing is nothing but what we are giving is, so here the device entitlement, what is the asset, for example, if we take as a this one, it will show like this one only. Assets only we can add. Right now we don't have anyone, so we don't need to worry about this one. And user entitlement, so it was assigned to which users will do it. For these ones, if you have any configurations, we can add the same thing. And activities nothing but what are the activities which are configured for the same thing one. If I going to save this one, this will be the same thing. And the combination is so this one, right, general, the asset tag and this model category will be the combination, and this is an out of the box thing, so that we don't have any issues for the same here. So this is the basic thing how we can add a create a software licenses. And here also, whenever the configure there is emails has to send. That means whenever this email, so the warranty expire is coming on, we have to send a configuration and notification to the email to the vendor, so that we don't have any issues for the same thing. So like that, everything will be configured for the same thing. So that means here, so whatever the configurations we have done here, so if the warranty is going on, we can send an email. So that one, and device entitlements we have done. But this is the basic thing how we can create a one, so that we can track all the things. For example, you want to check the what is the licenses, for example, right? So user license entitlements. So these are the assignment one. Right now we have not assigned anyone, right? So let me open this to create a, see, right? This is the service now. Okay, let me open this created. So we are not get any user entitlement. So we can create it anyone. So we are assigned to the ML tutor, and license by, what was the license by we can give it. See, right, this is the Tokyo. So we can submit. So if I open this display name, so it will displays the how many licenses will be entitled one. So for example, if I open this one, see here, it will show the user entitlements for the same thing one. So if I go to add this one, user is okay. So here, see what this one is everyone. Okay, I'm sorry. We cannot give this one any filter. So like that, how many users entitlements we have added, this will be automatically configured here. For example, if I open the software licenses, how many entitlements is were added, it will show the same thing here. So for example, if I want to add one more thing for the licensing, user entitlement. So now if I add this to the different user, so if I open this one, Adela, Abraham Lincoln, so this two. So now what I supposed to do it is I just create one more user entitlement. So if I open this one, so this will show these two users. Like that, how many users we have shown it, those are all will be configured and will be shown here the same thing here. So that's the basic thing how we can asset management will work in the service now. I hope it clear or any confusion. So the software and hardware asset management how it will works. I hope it clear or any confusion. Hello. Yeah, you guys can practice all the stuff whatever we have done it. So we'll cover in the next class. What do you have any questions? So any questions on the today's topic? Okay. So any questions on the previous topics? Okay, very good. So now the next thing was just create at least 4 to 5 assets, software assets and hardware assets. In the software, you can add user entitlements, and hardware also you can add those assets to the different users and check how it is out. Okay. So this is the task for today. I hope it clear.